punched one of Ferguson's balls out into the deep there, and he's been caught by Farid. So Scotland will be really happy with that start. Just to remind people, they have to win today to ensure that they go through to finals day on Sunday. If not, it's going to be the LMS India side who got past the Kiwis earlier this morning. And that brings Shiraz to the crease. Sadly for people who are just joining us, we lost the South Africa and Australia game to rain, and that's going to be rearranged to 7:45 a.m. and that's English time, and that's tomorrow morning. So if you want to get up early and maybe track that online as Ferguson comes in. A little chance of a run out here. And he's run through, and Khan gets the single there. Ferguson comes in here. A little flick off his legs by Deepak Nicholas. It goes down to fine leg. I'm going to welcome into the comms box Wayne Grieve. Welcome, Grievo.
Lee, it's great to join you. First, I just want to say on behalf of Last Man Stands a massive thank you to Chester, Boughton Hall, ground staff and everyone involved in the club for getting these facilities ready to play. The club can be very proud of themselves. Not many clubs would have been able to get a facility looking so good so quickly after the rain. So massive thank you to you and the team, Lee.
Well, thank you for that, Wayne. It's almost all down to Alex Kegg, the groundsman. It'd be remiss of me not to mention him in person because he's absolutely top drawer, and I know him and his team have worked very hard, as you've just mentioned, to make sure that we can enjoy the rest of the day's play here at Chester, and hopefully we'll have some really good cricket.
And the sun's out now, and it's doing justice to the wonderful facilities you guys have got here. And Alex, as you say, I'll be buying you a few beers after this tournament for sure.
I was going to say not tonight because I think he's up rather early for the South Africa-Australia game, we know.
Yeah, so for those of you wanting to know what's happened, we've moved some games in Group B, Pool B, South Africa, Australia. The time for that match will be confirmed in about 2 or 3 hours time, but it will be moved to tomorrow. The exact timing for that game and the USA Singapore will be confirmed around 5:30. But unfortunately, no play in Pool B today. We have seen a win for India over New Zealand in a tight game.
It was a really good finish, wasn't it?
It's a great game.
And this is Venkatesh. He's just gone into the wicket to Deepak Nicholas there. He just punches it out there. Shiraz looked for a second run, but the skipper was just happy with that single. So a few people have stuck around here. It's a little bit sparse compared to previous days. I'm sure more people, now they know that there's games on, will start making their way back down to the ground.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's a really nice shot down the ground there. Venkatesh will be looking for a wicket here as he bowls to Nicholas. Back of a length into the wicket. And a really good bit of fielding out in the deep there. That was Singh in the deep of the Southern Sixers. So this has been a real solid start from Scotland here. Just 26 runs in the first 4 overs. Nicholas has got off to a really good start. He's 15 off 8. But Khan is just 2 off 4 so far. And my friend Rob Bainbridge here is going to have his first bowl of the day. He plays for the Bass Rock Cricket Club in Scotland. as he comes in. He was telling me yesterday, Wayne, how fantastic it is, even at the age he's at, we know, with the family, how he's managed to fall back in love with cricket. Saturday cricket just became too much for him, and LMS just filled that void in his life beautifully.
And what a lovely guy, Rob Bainbridge. He's been to a few of our events before. We had the honour of playing against him in La Manga. Bass Rocks are a lovely bunch of guys, and I'm sure a few of them will be watching this match eagerly. Scotland have got a chance of qualifying for the knockout stages. All they need to do is win this game.
You say it like it's so easy, Wayne. All they've got to do is win.
Yeah, well, that's probably not doing UAE credit. They beat one of the tournament favourites, Pakistan, in the last game. That's gone straight up. Should be safe.
Oh, he's got a chance, hasn't he? They're going to come back for 2 as well. No, they're not. They've just took the 1. So the UAE so far, they've took a few risks. Shiraz Khan there, just popping it in the air. But the running between the wickets been a little bit lacklustre so far. So the Scottish side will be really happy with this. Just to see if he's just taking a little bit of pace off it. Nicholas isn't going to die wondering here. He's swung extremely hard and the ball goes through to the keeper.
And he'll be full of confidence after his last knock against Pakistan. He was superb. I don't know if you managed to watch that innings, Lee.
I did. And I know he's got a really good eye, but Bainbridge is all over him here like a rash. And just 2 off his first over there. I know he took a bit of tap earlier in the week off Abdul Razak, and he felt an awful lot better when he saw some of the other boys doing the same.
So the conditions actually decent now for cricket, Lee. Who would have thought that?
Well, it's great to see both these teams getting out there and getting stuck in. You know, these conditions are ideal for cricket now. We've both teams straight away looking to get out there, and the sun is shining. It's a real pity we couldn't have got that big game between South Africa and Australia out there.
Yeah, both teams showed patience hanging around during the day, but oh, that's 4 more.
It's a real nice shot from Shiraz Khan there, and that takes him to 7 off 7. He needed that. He was just under a little bit of pressure there. He was 3 off 6, and hopefully that will kick on the UAE innings.
So talking about the South Africa-Australia game, we see there's been a few questions asked. Lodi Gruyev, I think he's back in South Africa, is asked what happened to SA versus Oz. That game, unfortunately, has been pushed forward to tomorrow. There were some wet conditions around earlier, and the teams were a bit nervous about the outfield.
As it just goes into the wicket there. I think this is looks like Rory Johnson here. I think this could be his first bowl of the week, Grievo.
Yeah, they've held him back this tournament. He's a talented batsman, brilliant in the field. So it'll be interesting to see if he's got anything about him with the ball.
He did say he'd been warming up a few times trying to get a bowl, so this is his chance today into the wicket. And this time he's gone in front to square. Deepak Nicholas looks a very fine player.
Keep going,
I presume he's played an awful lot of LMS cricket.
Deepak's played a huge amount of LMS cricket in all parts of the world as well. He's played in Cape Town, he's played in Sri Lanka, he's played in Spain, and now he's playing LMS in England. He plays for the Roaring Lions, who apply their LMS trade in Dubai. And I think the UAE will have a lot of supporters coming from India here. The UAE need to win this game on behalf of India. If they win this game, India through. If they don't, oh, that's huge. That's 6 more.
And Shiraz is at full strength there. And he's gone well towards the canal at this bottom end of the ground. And straight away the sun's out and it's baking hot down here at Chester.
It's a beautiful day now, Lee. Amazing how quickly the conditions change here in the northwest of England.
I must admit, Grievo, as an Englishman, I was having a great deal of joy, having a bit of fun with the South Africans and the Australian players this morning, telling them how we'd already been out there and played 10 overs, so obviously the Southern Hemisphere are obviously a bit more delicate than us English. I'm sure you're going to stand up for them, and we'll get a good game in the morning. Another good bit of bowling there by Bainbridge. Expensive first over from Johnson though, 16 from it. Be interesting to see if he gets the second over here.
So, for those of you who've just joined the live feed, remember there's the big LMS Pakistan versus LMS England game later. That's due to start around 6. So, if you're in the area and you're looking for something to do, pop in. Should be a good atmosphere. On the back pitch, we're going to have the Masters game between India and Pakistan.
I'm really made up how that India and Pakistan are going to get a chance to lock horns again. The Pakistan Masters were here before. I felt really for them. Obviously the weather, and they were hoping to play. Our England versus South Africa game was rained off. I think the South Africans were just ahead there as well. Leading edge. And that's a massive wicket. And Bainbridge will know that as well. He's got rid of the dangerous Nicholas for 22.
It's a huge wicket for Scotland and their qualification chances.
Can see some of the Indian boys are watching at the moment. Can see Meg was watching. I know Captain Rahul Kohli's been watching as well. Be interesting to see whether they think the UAE can score enough runs to hold Scotland back here.
Am I right in saying Scotland just need to win this game, Lee? There's no bonus points required. They just need to win and find any way to win it.
And just seeing on there my good friend KB from the Indian team. I was very lucky to speak on FaceTime to some of his family. They've been loving the LMS format, and they wanted to see the chubby face of the person behind the microphone. So I was lucky to speak to his partner back in India. So welcome. I hope they're enjoying watching this game. So obviously we're getting to the back end of the tournament, Grievo. I asked you at the start of the week who your favourite was. Fancy coming off that fence?
I'm going to go with Sri Lanka now. I think Sri Lanka are looking red hot favourites from here. But we know anything can happen. Everyone thought the same with Pakistan, and then they had a surprising upset loss against LMS UAE. So don't write off LMS Australia, LMS South Africa. The new batsman Subu. He's at the non-strikers end now.
I think he's the keeper as well. As that goes into the slot there, and he's just hit through the line. You cannot be bowling this length in this format. He's just put it up there to the batter, and Shiraz Khan has just hit through the line and swatted it away into the leg side. It's weird here, obviously we've been looking at par scores around 180 all week. The outfield is still rapid here at Chester, but may just be a fraction slower than it has been, obviously with this wet weather. Be interesting to see if the seamers come into it a little bit more, and whether the spinners will struggle holding this slightly wet ball.
Yeah, it's also, the wicket might be, I wouldn't say much slower, but it might just hold up on occasion. It might be a bit too paced due to the wet condition. But you know this pitch better than most, so what's your assessment from here?
For me, I'd absolutely love to be batting on this pitch at the moment, because the wicket here is it has got decent pace. It's not rapid, but when it just gets a little bit of moisture on the top, it can zip through and just come onto the bat nicely. So I think the batters will definitely get full value for proper cricket shots here. Don't need to over force it. The ball should come on nicely. Following on my love of interesting cricket shoes, This certainly is a pair that I would feel very, very nervous about wearing. But this is Subu. Amir with the ball here. As he comes in. That's a lovely shot. He's just lent on it beautifully there. Out into the deep. As the club captain just pops into the commentary box, Wayno. I'm just going to... No, it's all right, Chris. I know you're never shy for a moment. He's just waved away. You're just going to give us 5 minutes here. Just give us a little bit of background about how we managed to get the game on so quickly. That'll be fantastic. Just turn the microphone there off as Chris obviously wasn't overly hoping to come into the box here, but we managed to talk him in. Good afternoon, Chris.
Hey, good afternoon. I have to say, our groundsman is always trying to get myself to push the committee into buying new equipment. And this time last year, when we had so many games rained off, he came up with this idea about buying this blotting machine, which is probably the wrong side of £8,000. Anyhow, we relented and gave into it, and anyway, it's been redundant most of the summer because we've had such a great time. But I think Last Man Stand will agree that it's been fantastic, and the very fact we're playing so quickly after such heavy rain, virtue to the groundsman, and presumably Last Man Stand will be sponsoring the blotting machine in future for us.
It's not like you, Chris, to maybe potentially see the angle there, but I know all the Last Man Stands guys and these two teams are absolutely delighted and got there as quick as possible, and it means also we'll on a Friday night at Chester Boughton Hall Cricket Club have the massive game, which is the top of the table clash between England and Pakistan, which is just great for the club to have a game on at that time on a Friday night.
It certainly is, especially as it's probably one of those evenings that it's going to go dark quite quickly, so I think it's really important that it starts. Is it starting about 5 o'clock, is it, hopefully?
I think we're aiming for 5:30, but definitely before 6. I think we could do with this game, obviously progressing as quickly as possible, but just a little bit of zip in the wicket there. Zubu just gets back in behind it and just pushes it into the leg side. So obviously we've just spoke about the blotting machine there and the big covers. Is that something as a club that you've got to be thinking about all the time to be improving, or is that something where you've just mentioned Alex Kegg pestering away? Is it someone's vision ultimately in the first place?
Well, I think the first thing is that amateur cricket in this country, as anybody will know who's listened to this commentary, is really hard to try and make a profit at, or at least break even at. And a club like Chester, we run very hard to stand still. And the only way we can do it is keep pushing people into the bar, and as with just a huge amount of rain coming down on top of the gazebo.
It's a big shout here. That's Singh. It's been turned away. It's been turned away.
So I'd like to think the committee at Chester have the vision to realise that each game we save, by virtue of the equipment we have, means an extra bar take, which means we have enough money to survive.
Yeah, well, just for the viewers at home, it's not actually raining. We're in a commentary tent here. Obviously, a commentary box may be the next thing on the committee's list if we get a couple more of these big events from Last Man Stands. But at the moment, we're in a tent and they're just pushing the buckets of water over the top here.
So equipment plays a very big part.
It's gone high in the air here, but it's carried all the way, and that's 6 more for the UAE. I'm sure on Facebook Live the Indian fans and the Indian players will be getting well behind this UAE side. Is there any team that you've enjoyed watching, Chris?
I've actually enjoyed the English team, actually, and the English Masters team, because I saw you playing on the far pitch before, Lee.
Yeah, I did enjoy a little run out there. It's something that I'm definitely going to try and play more of in the future 2 years, because I quite fancy to see if I can break my way into the full England side, even at the old age of 31.
Certainly the over 40s English side will probably look to pick you in the very near future.
Before my time there is Singh just into the wicket there. Looks like it's just clipped his iPad and it's no run. So you've played more cricket than anyone I know here, Chris. A little bit of water on the wicket, a little bit of water on the outfield. Par score's been about 180. Is it going to go up or down?
I think certainly a few less than that now, because the ball won't carry as far. And listen, I play most of my time on uncovered wickets, and none of the people playing today will have ever played in them before. And I asked the opening Chester batsman the other week how many times. Just as
that is an unbelievable shot there. We've just seen it from Shiraz. I know you fancy a tipple from time to time, Chris, and even you'd be happy with that. And that's the end of the over as well. He's just whipped that. How he's got that behind square. He's bowling quite slow, Singh, and that's gone out down towards the practice area down there. Some of the Pakistan lads in the nets. Be happy with that shot yourself, Chris?
I would have been, yes, definitely. Yes. Mine wouldn't have got as far as that. Anyway, so I spoke to the Chester opening batsman, who's the prolific player, Warren Goodwin. I asked him at the end of the first over how many times has he gone down to the wicket and smashed down the divot marks. And he asked me, well, why would he do that? He's never had a divot mark when he's opened the batting at Boughton Hall. And that, I think, is a subtle difference between cricket that I played and the cricket that's played these days, the uncovered wickets and the wet wickets. Well,
it's funny you mentioned about the gardening as a batter. I'm pretty sure some of the young lads probably think it's just what batters do, just for, it's almost like an aesthetic thing. It's not serving a purpose. I know maybe playing on some pitches away from Chester, you may have to knock a divot down from time to time. Keggy does a brilliant job here, and we're very lucky with the square as it comes into Subbu. And I think the Indians will just start feeling a little bit better now. It was a very slow start from the UAE, and losing Deepak Nicholas early on was a big blow after a quick fire 20, but they're just coming back into it now, and Khan is 36 off 18 and Subbu is just ticking along 7 off 6.
Just going back to last man stands, I wrote an email to Paul Allett, the Lancashire Chief Executive of Cricket, this week to say how impressed I had been, and that indeed am, at the standard of the last man stands and the rules they play, and actually hadn't heard from him until about an hour ago. He rang back actually and said that he'd seen last man stands actually on this Facebook, and how impressed he was about the level of sport he was seeing. So it's a great compliment to Wayne and his team.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic, and that's obviously part of the network that built through last man stands there. Obviously a friend of yours, Paul, and the fact that he's actually not had to go and see it, he's already seen it, and he's happy and excited by the standard. That's fantastic, as another ball gets hit away here, and Scotland really need to tighten up. But there's been a number of high-profile people that have been following this online, and we were very lucky the other day, the Nobel Prize winner. Mahala came down to Chester Boughton Hall, got my picture taken.
Very impressive indeed.
She even said, Chris, she'd come down because she'd enjoy my commentary so much that technically she asked for a picture with me.
No comment. Anyhow, so the last man stands theory of the cricket, the way they play it, I think is something that's going to be replicated very quickly. I think everybody who's been here this week has been really impressed by firstly the rules and the way people play it. It's certainly fast.
Well, it's fast, isn't it? And I know from spending a lot of time with you, not always the most patient watcher of cricket. I know on Saturday you had to sit there and watch your son face 30 balls to get the first team over the line. But I think a
good game's a short game. First rule of life.
And obviously this 100-ball tournament that the ECB are looking at, they're actually maybe potentially borrowing some of the LMS rules, I think.
Well, I think Paul actually is chairman of that subcommittee that are looking at 100-ball cricket, and he has actually suggested something on the basis of 50 balls from one end and 50 balls from the other end. It does really make it faster cricket, and that basically, as time, society change, we've got to look at some way of developing the game to keep the young ones interested.
So just looking obviously at the coloured kits here, Chris, I know back in your day it was obviously a nice pristine white shirt and a flannel in one of the pockets as a thigh pad, but do you think that potentially the first team cricket on a Saturday, we could see coloured kits coming in, or do you think that committees and leagues aren't quite ready to go there yet?
Well, I do enjoy traditional cricket and watching the test match at home live on television, but we have to adapt the game to suit the people who play it. And if you consider that our first team tomorrow are going to Timpley at 9:30 tomorrow morning, and if you're a young father at home with 2 young kids, you say goodbye to your wife at 9:30 in the morning, you get back at 11:30 at night, having spent an hour or so in the bar, but it makes an awful long day. So I think we have to adapt the game to keep attracting and keep people playing it.
No, I totally agree. Obviously, we just touched on. I was just looking through Twitter there, and James Franklin actually got the opportunity to meet Mahala the other day here at Chester. It was a fantastic moment for the club, and he's already got, you know, well over 1,000 likes on Twitter there. He said extremely humbled to meet the 2014 Nobel Prize winner. Now, to get people like that down here to the club can only add, for us on a selfish viewpoint, can only raise our profile.
Most definitely. I mean, we want to be the best at Chester. We want to be the best in the Northwest. We want to be the best at North of England. So hosting tournaments like this and able to use social media to sell the message, I think is very good for all concerned.
So just for a few people at home now, we're now changing ends now. We've bowled the first 10 overs from the end named after your father, the Ron Fleet end of the ground here. We're now going to come from the City end of the ground, and Singh's going to continue. 84 for 2 off 10. What's a good score? And I know in the past, Chris, you may have liked a little tipple. What would be your line at the moment?
I think my line would be 155. I think
155. So obviously, for just the benefit of this, I'm just going to have a little buy at 155 there, because I really do fancy the UAE to kick on here. I think the Scottish are just a little bit short of bowling, and Singh went for 17 off his first over. So
I've just had a word with the umpire. 155 it'll be.
Fantastic. But Chris, it's been brilliant getting you in the box, and I know on finals day you'll be here for all the fun and games that comes with it, but we'll definitely get you back in. And just quickly, have you got a team in mind that you think it could go all the way?
I think England, obviously the league table, see they're pretty well unbeaten so far. I expect them to carry on unless there's some jiggery pokery going on with the squads over the weekend, but I was thinking England the favourites to win, I think. Fantastic.
Well, Chris, thanks for coming in the box. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully there's a good outcome to this game. Obviously, just to reiterate, Scotland, if they win this game, they qualify, they make it to Sunday and finals day. If not, the Indians and the thousands of Indians at home that have been watching throughout the week, they'll be happy because they'll be staying with us for finals day on Sunday.
Thanks very much, Lee.
Cheers, Chris. Thank you. So that was Chris Fleet, club captain of the Chester Boughton Hall Cricket Club there. A real nice insight into, obviously, the background of how we keep these games of cricket on. And obviously England are doing fantastically well, and that's his tip. As Singh comes in, back of a length to Subbu. He's got to be looking for at least 2 here. An amazing dive from Rory, but it goes to 4. And he's really kicked on here. Amazing effort from Rory Johnson there. I think in these wet conditions I may have just waved that for 4, but amazing efforts as Subbu again. He's just moving the Scottish team all around the ground here, and that's ran away for 4 as well. So he's really putting his foot down. I think the Scottish team may just be a little bit worried here, Wayne.
Definitely, and it's a great knock from Shiraz. I was in the commentary with you yesterday, Lee, where we probably gave him a little bit of stick for going a little bit slowly at 26 of 21, and as I left the commentary box, he decided to hit loads of 6s and 4s, and I think he finished with 50 from 37.
Well, he's very close to retiring here, but this is Subbu. Singh's managed to claw a dot there, but it's 0 for 30 off 2. He's had a bit of a torrid time with the ball today so far, but still plenty of time left for him to have an impact on this match.
It's a great partnership, this, isn't it?
It is really good, and it's exactly what they needed. I think a few of the UAE supporters did fear when Deepak Nicholas got out. He's so destructive, but these two have come together. They've moved the ball around all around the ground, 360 shots, and it looks like the moment that Shiraz here is just 1 strike away from retiring for his team.
And there's still a bit of batting to come. Hashim Ahmed, presume he'll be in next. He hasn't really shown all his traits on this tour, but when he gets going, he can be as destructive as Deepak.
Well, this is Assad Amir here. He's a player for the Well Foundation. Also plays at Edinburgh Academicals as well. And that's a really good shot down the ground. Fielder's going to come round. Fareed's here. He slid. Oh, he slid past it here and it's gone for 4. Obviously quite a greasy outfield here. Fareed's gone for the dive. He slid past the ball here. A wry smile towards us in the commentary box.
A great effort from Fareed.
But another boundary, and that takes him 2 away. Do you think he should be more sensible here now and just make sure he gets retired?
How many overs? 8. Oof, it's a delicate one. Yeah, I think it's unlikely that he'll have too much work to do at the back end, but you never know. Always better having that option. So if he needs to take a ball or 2 extra to get to his 50.
Oh, that's Amir, he's got away with it. Looks like Shiraz had just set himself to maybe get on the front foot there, and that just cramped him for room a little bit. Oh, that's gone high. Potential. Joe Rose is underneath it. Oh, he's put it down.
That could be a big moment, Lee. You never know.
Well, not only is it 2 runs, that's the end of Shiraz.
Gets to his 50. Psychologically, that's a big thing, isn't it?
He's really enjoying it. He's going very early with the bat raise here as well. He's got 100 yards of bat raising to go here if he keeps that going.
How many more times do you expect? I'm going 5 more raises.
There's one. I reckon there's at least 2 or 3 more here.
He hasn't spotted the one person out the window in flat 7. He's going to give 1 to.
Just a little tip there. But
there was another one.
he's going hard with the bat raise here. I always like this one. Like the end of any good bottle of Shiraz, you've always got to be disappointed. And he's been fantastic here, and he's milking the. He's got the hand raise in there as well now. He's happy with that, isn't he?
Such a lovely guy, Shiraz. Always got a smile on his face. Such a polite guy. Just so happy to be here in Chester, and really got a lot of time for Shiraz Khan and the whole UAE team. Great bunch of guys.
And here's my mate here, Bose. In the comms box on Monday, great fun he was. Obviously left himself out, but he's well and truly back in this side, and he's out to prove a point for the UAE here.
Jose, he's a skilled photographer. Fortunate enough to be his friend on Facebook, and he's an unbelievable. Some of the photos he took from Cape Town on his trip to the World Champs out there were phenomenal. Toured all over Cape Town, not only on the pitch but off the pitch. Really skillful man with the camera.
There he is, off the mark there. So we're at 103 off 11 overs, 1 man retired, and that's Shiraz Khan. And surely they've got to be looking up at that 180 mark now.
Chris Fleet was in the box earlier. I heard him say 155.
And obviously everyone heard me say bye, so that'll be a nice little win potentially for me there. Fabulous character of the Chester Cricket Club. And obviously talking about Chester, I'm sure you've been to some amazing cricket grounds all around the world, Grievo, with Last Man Stands.
Yeah, obviously Last Man Stands, we tend to try and look for club grounds. So we actually started Last Man Stands at a great club ground down in sort of London, the greater London area. It was the London School of Economics. That was a fantastic venue. And we expanded Last Man Stands to South Africa. My home club, Old Edwardians, the famous Old Edwardians. They were very supportive of Last Man Stands. And then we've had some of our big events at the likes of the Western Province Cricket Club in Cape Town in Newlands, Runaway Bay Cricket Club in the Gold Coast.
So when you're obviously looking to organise these events, Wayne, oh, that's a terrible piece of fielding in the deep there. And that definitely will make the bloopers real there. A little bit skiddy in the outfield. Farid will be absolutely fuming because he's obviously a little bit of a loose in there. Bose's just rocked back, and this is going very... Oh, wow. It can't go down as a misfield because he didn't touch the ball.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there. Farid has been giving everything out there, and he just wants his teammates to give him the same effort that he's been giving.
Could be a run out here, but Joe Rose reacted really well there. He's just a little word with some of the fielders there from Scotland. They weren't backing up quite as well. Just a little bit of a sloppy few minutes with the Scots here. They did brilliantly though to come past New Zealand yesterday.
That was a surprise win, especially when New Zealand put 212 on the board. I don't think many people gave them a chance after that. But this man Farid played an unbelievable knock. But yeah, coming back to your question on the grounds all over the world, this cricket club, Chester, Boughton Hall is right up there in terms of facilities that have hosted last man stands, and certainly there's a big shot
catch,
and the batsman walks.
That's always good to see that, Wayne. The fact that obviously the umpire was there to make the decision, but Subbu was halfway off.
Yeah, just made it easy for Lewis Davies there. Lewis Davies, a good umpire. He's learnt his trade umpiring on the local league on the world. The other three umpires are from London. Good turn and bounce from Farid there.
Just a little skiddy though. The last few days, the spin has been pretty slow, but that was a little bit quicker. Subbu will be annoyed with that. That was loose. But a really good partnership, and Nelson gets another victim there. 111 for 3.
The new batsman, Hashim Ahmed. Very, very talented player, this guy. He hasn't had the tournament that he would have liked to have had when he arrived here, but I still think he's got one good knock in him.
Tell me a bit about this Hashim Ahmed.
The first time I met him was when we got an invite to play in a launch tournament in Sri Lanka, and we tried to set up a rest of the world team to take on a Sri Lankan team just as an exhibition match, and 3 of the players that attended the match were from the UAE.
Chance for 2 here. Rose puts the hand up. He said he's not interested in a second run there. And that's the end of the over. Feel for Farid there. He bowled a brilliant over there, and then that one misfield, and he's gone for 8.
And Hashim, Bose and Deepak, the 3 of the guys from the Roaring Lion side in UAE, that messaged in and said they would like to join the tour. And he was outstanding on that trip, off the field and on the field.
Well, he's on strike now as Asad Amir comes in from the city end, and he just punches it into the gap here. Got to look for a second run here. Opportunity's going to turn blind, but they're going to get quite comfortably there. The only disappointment with the weather, Wayne, is obviously we've lost that massive game, Australia, South Africa, and also just a slightly quieter crowd here today. It's been a really good atmosphere all week. We've had fabulous weather, fabulous crowds. So obviously if anyone's at home, you know, the weather's good now. Get yourself down here. Enjoy the cricket. High in the air. Farid's got a chance here. Oh, I think he may have got there, you know. He did brilliantly to get there, though. He really did. He travelled across the ground really well. He got his hands out, both hands there, and it's gone straight to his hands there. And that's gone for 4 small margins here for Scotland. One of the more interesting viewers on Facebook Live here, Bose, who's on the non-strikers end here, where you know appears to be on Facebook Live.
I think someone's stolen his phone.
Obviously, he's got a good data package. And this is going to be 2 as well here. Bose's going to turn and go, I think.
Yeah, he's quick between the wickets. Great running from the big man, Bose. Only 4 strides and he was at the other end.
He was great fun in the box the other day. Really passionate about his cricket. Really hoping for someone to really take the LMS UAE franchise by the...
Yeah, Bose is very keen on LMS. He's originally from Kerala. He was keen for us to get LMS in Kerala as well. And we are looking for a new manager for LMS in UAE. So if anyone's interested, please get in contact with Bose. We know that Bose is very, very keen to be involved himself. So we're looking for a team of people out there to get involved.
So Scotland minus Fraser Watts today, Wayne.
Yeah, he's got coaching and club commitments back in Scotland.
So I know hopefully he'll be watching or listening in.
If not, I'm sure he'll be watching the highlights.
But this is such a key game, isn't it? You know, you're talking about one of the massive countries, the cricket-loving nation of India, are hanging on here to see if their friends from the UAE can do them a favour.
Yeah, who would have ever thought it would come down to this match, especially after the start of this tournament. Scotland in a heavy defeat to England.
Come back really well here, and just looking here, Scotland are really throwing the ball around here, trying to find the right sort of understanding and combination.
Good bowling figures there from Sam Ferguson, just 10 from his 2 overs.
This is Farid again, a little bit of nibble here. It's just a little bit quicker through the air here, so I think that's probably more the pace today, just into the wicket, letting it skid off the top here. As Farid comes in again, it's up, it's in a good spot, and it looks like Hashim's trying to umpire there. If we get a minute, we'll just watch that one back if it's possible for the production team on QTV, who's done a great job just to show me that one again, just to show the people at home what a good job these umpires are doing, because they were absolutely adamant that that was a wide, and I'm absolutely adamant it wasn't.
Yeah, it's spinning quite a lot, but I think that's turned past the outside edge. I don't think that's anywhere near wide, to be honest. I've just seen it there.
Really good bowler.
Farid's a handy all-round cricketer.
It's a nice shot down the ground here. Fielder's just managed to get a little hand on it there.
So projected score 169. Do you agree with that, Lee? Or are you still buying the runs here?
Absolutely smashing the runs here. I think the UAE are going to put the foot down here. I actually think it's going to be near that 180 mark.
Are you going at 14 and over or 12 and over?
I'm going to go about 10.5 and over here, and I'm going to say at 180. I think there's one massive over left in us, surely. And look at some of the bowling figures. They're going to have to go back to someone who's been really expensive so far.
But they've also got an over 2 from Bainbridge left.
Uday here asking Dwidge, one of the Indian players, why you always run out, mate?
Sacrificing his wicket for the team.
It's a wide ball this time though. And Bainbridge is really not going to be happy with that. That looks like 5 wides. So what were really good figures are still decent, but certainly not as good after that 5 wides first ball.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there. I don't think he deserved 5 there, but wouldn't happen if he bowled straight. Bainbridge has been good, so he wants to look after his figures, yeah.
he's made a, oh wowzers. So he's made a bit of an adjustment here. So the second wide of the over is worth 3, I'm right in saying, Wayne, is that correct?
Yeah, and then they've also gone for it through a single, so the batsman's collected 9 without hitting a ball there.
Sounds like my sort of cricket, that. Just when we thought on a slightly more greasy day here that it may be a bit more bowler friendly. He's gone back a length there to Bose. They're going to look for 2 here, surely. And they are. And I'm feeling extremely confident here, Wayne, that my 180 is going to be cashed in.
Yeah, that's what I said from about the 3rd over, 180.
It's really refreshing after the, you've already called Sri Lanka as potential winners. You're now giving these big scores out as well, Wayne. Can't wait for Sunday. I think there's going to be some big predictions from yourself.
No, I won't be in the commentary box on Sunday.
So I said, well, what about this bastard Richard? I said, has he not got
So,
to pay all your money?
for those of you
Which is the road.
who've just joined us, Scotland need to win this game. If they don't, India will progress to the knockout stages.
It's a really nice shot here. Hashim's just gone out. They may look for 2 here. It's an awful long way down there. But Bose is just happy to trot through for the single. And all of a sudden, Bainbridge's figures here are taking a bit of a hammer in. I think this is quite a big ball in the game here. We've only got 4 overs left after this. Projected scores at 176. In the background there, you can see the Pakistani team in the nets. And that is another wide. So please explain to me, Wayne, what happens there.
That's just 3 runs. Doesn't get rebowled.
So it's not 135. It doesn't keep going up in. It's just 3 every wide.
3 every wide. But the last over, you have to bowl 5 legitimate deliveries, as in normal cricket.
Surely for some teams, though, when teams are
England
firing
fifth favourites,
towards the end, I
Aon
know it's not against
All-Stars
the spirit of
legends.
cricket, Wayne, but surely it's worth scuttling a few down the leg side.
Well, let's be honest, if you go in at 15 or 16 and over, I think that's too much. 15 and over gets you 300 in a game. So, yeah, there's obviously the odd occasion where a 3 might be better than a 6, but if that's going to be your tactics from the beginning, I think you better not turn up.
Obviously here at LMS we want everyone to turn up and everyone to enjoy it, but you've heard it here first. If you want to bowl down the leg side and get constant 3s and you think that's okay, maybe don't.
Well, you'll be chasing 300 every game, so
That'd be maybe in extreme circumstances. 3 comes in. Bose's got all of that, and that's a boom down the ground here at Chester. And that's his first 6 of the innings. He got all of that. That was a lovely swing of the bat.
got long levers, Bose.
That was a massive strike from Bose there. As Rid comes in again. This time it's gone high into the leg side. Sings underneath it here. Oh, he's dropped it. So, just something there, okay. Hashim at this end stood still, okay. He's very aware that there may be a potential chance of a run out if he went for the 2. I think he may have had a chance of a steal there.
He should have gone for the steal. Sometimes the non-striker should be going from the outset. In that occasion, he should have just said, guys, I'm going for 2 no matter what. If he drops it, I'm through for 2. If he catches it, I'm through for 2. That's not always the case to some of the shorter boundaries, but a long boundary like that, I think I even would have made 2 there.
Do you find that the more experienced LMS players would have just gone there, and the guys that maybe have played less or maybe more normal cricket, that would be something where they maybe get caught ball watching?
Yeah, I think different people learn the game at quicker speeds. I think Hashim's such a lovely guy, a little bit laid back at times, so nothing phases him. I just think maybe he's thinking about maybe what he's doing tonight for dinner or something like that.
Well, it's obviously a fantastic opportunity to come overseas for a lot of these LMS players. I know quite a few of the Australian, South African and American lads are going to taking a Man United game tonight. Now, I can't think of anything worse to do than go to a Man United game tonight when you could be watching England versus Pakistan.
I think one of the England players saying, come on the Foxes. I think that's Leicester.
Yeah, that's Blake van der Linde. He was in the box with me yesterday. He's walking around with Simon Dunning, who I believe hit one of the quickest 50s ever in LMS cricket yesterday.
Certainly in one of our big events. That's
13 ball 50. And I think there was a dot and a one in the first couple of balls as well, so amazing.
So Sam Ferguson to continue. Now again, there's an opportunity we just spoke about earlier. I think that was probably correct thing from Bose not to leave his crease.
Well, I think he obviously had a good look at where that was going. That's Rory Johnson, who's the Scottish development player. He's got very, very safe hands. He was involved in one of the plays of the day earlier in the week where he managed to catch a ball well over the boundary. He was feet inside and push it back to save the six. And he was in position looking to get the run out as well there. So Bose just stayed in his crease and dealt with that quite comfortably.
It's a good strike right there from Hashim. 156. Just what the team needed. They do have Shiraz in the hat.
So we had Chris Fleet in before. He called 155, so I'm feeling comfortable with my buy at the moment, Wayne. I've got to get 2 off the next 3 overs there to cash in.
I was listening to Chris. He said 155 from 17.3 balls.
So this looks like Sam Ferguson coming from the City Road end here.
A new batsman Naidu.
This is Navas. He's been impressive here, Ferguson. 2 for 11 off 2.2. And if Scotland are going to keep the UAE down here, he's probably going to have to get a couple more wickets. As he just goes onto the legs there. They've got to be looking for 2. Navas will be pushing Singh hard here. And he's misfielded in the outfield. He's having a bit of a torrid time. Mr. Singh here has a couple of the local speckies just wandering around here. So Ferguson, after a really impressive start here, he's just not been backed up by his fielder there as the ball goes down. You just get pushed down the ground here. Bainbridge is going to pick up. And it's 157 for 4 here. So just 2.5 overs left. I think the UAE will be looking up at that 180, and obviously they've got the benefit of that home run ball at the end. So quite a few of the locals just starting to stream in now for the afternoon session. All enjoying the game here at Chester Boughton Hall Cricket Club. All aware what a massive opportunity Scotland have got here to make finals day. And it's pretty straightforward, as you said before, Wayne. Win the game and they'll be here on Sunday.
If you look at the scorecard, superb 50 from Shiraz Khan, striking it at 200. Oh, and it's a no ball. It's gone for 4. That's an expensive start to the over. Free hit come in. UAE must be regretting their start to the tournament. They just managed to win one of their first 2 games. They'd be right with the hunt for a knockout spot, Lee.
Do you think that out of all the teams they struggled the most, like adapting to conditions? Obviously, they play quite a lot on synthetics and slow wickets in the UAE.
It's a fair point. I do know that most of the wickets they play in the UAE would be non-turf concrete wickets. It's not easy to get onto the turf wickets there.
They must have some great strike rates if they're playing on concrete wickets.
Yeah, there's all concrete turf.
Concrete turf?
So concrete,
No.
concrete non-turf pitches. So
okay, I was going to say, I was ready to jump right in there, Wayne, and ask about the old concrete turf, because that would suit me just nicely, not having to cut that. As the ball goes down the ground here, picked up comfortably, and overarmed in there by Bainbridge. So Fred here is just in between here, whether he can have a really good spell, maybe one more wicket and a tight over, or being quite expensive. And there it is. So he's gone for option A here, and he's got the wicket. Lovely spinning ball, and Rose has took the stump in, and the UAE 4 down. So Scotland will be happy here. They know that obviously the wickets are going to stem the run flow for the UAE. And Navas had a good go. Let's have a little look at this. That's a pretty straightforward decision, and well made by the umpire. So that decision there was pretty straightforward for the umpire, but come finals day, Wayne, you've got some news regarding the TV coverage.
Yeah, something we did at the World Champs in Cape Town. The umpires have obviously got a job to do on the field. They'll be giving the run-outs and stump-ins, as has been the whole tournament. If there's any doubt, they will be able to send it up to the third umpire, who will be in the commentary box. He won't be influenced by the commentators. We'll put microphones on his ears when he's got to make a decision. So we'll put, someone can come and help me out. Earphones. We'll put a microphone in his mouth.
Just got it. We've managed. Oh, we've got a wicket here as well. And Farid's turned this spell into something quite special here. Got rid of Bose. That was a really good knock. 32 off 16 here. 200 strike rate, and the wheels are just starting to come off for the UAE here.
It does bring Shiraz Khan in, so I don't think they'll be too disappointed. He's still got 8 balls to go.
And UAE have got a refill here, so that's always exciting, and they're going to be looking to turn to their main man today, Shiraz, to take them up to near that 180 mark.
Yeah, so I'll attempt that again, Lee. The third umpire will be under immense pressure, as he was in Cape Town, and if he sees something to overturn the on-field decision, he will have the ability to do so. We won't have green or red lights. He'll simply stand up and point his finger in there if he thinks it's out. If it's not out, he'll signal a soft signal to the umpire to keep his decision if he had originally thought it was not out.
What's amazing? What's amazing about that innings there? Bose was on Facebook Live for the whole innings there, and commenting. So fantastic, Farid there. That's a fantastic spell. It's a pity it ended with a wide, but that's 3 for 29 for Farid, who's been one of the really good players for Scotland in this tournament.
And one of the characters of the tournament as well.
So quite a few of the local boys now making their way around to the commentary box, making it relatively difficult for us, Wayno.
Yeah, we're under pressure here. Every mistake is scrutinised. So Lee, do you think there'll be a bigger crowd coming in?
Well, I think on a Friday night here, quite a lot of people like to come down. It's normally junior night here at Chester Boughton Hall Cricket Club, but juniors is finished now, so I think quite a lot of people, as they finish work, will be making their way down to the ground as the ball's hit hard down the ground there. And that brings Shiraz onto strike here. So obviously Ferguson, who's definitely been the pick of the bowlers here for the Scottish side. He's got the opportunity to restrict the UAE to under 180 here. And that's a full bunger. He's just missed out on the Yorker. But they're going to look for 2 here, try and get Shiraz back on strike. And that is a pretty dire piece of fielding again. So Scotland at the moment are their own worst enemies.
So during the interval, we're going to get a batting masterclass from Simon Dunning, how to score 50 off 13 balls. So for those of you looking to get your teas and coffees, get them in now. That's going to be exciting to listen to Simon Dunning.
It's a nice shot again, just down the ground here. Fred going for the long barrier here. They're looking for 2. Keepers misfielded it, and they've come back quite comfortably. So I think the plan for the UAE here is they want to keep Shiraz on strike. And he'll definitely be on strike, hopefully for them, for that home run ball. It's a really good bit of keeping there by Rose. And I've got a funny feeling we're coming on to the final ball of the innings here.
So just a slight technical issue with the live scorecard. We'll update you at the correct score in a second.
So as Ferguson comes in, high in the air, you're going to look for 2 here. That's gone down to Rob Bainbridge. I think PJ's going to come round and look for a 3rd here. He's just going to turn and go. That's an amazing bit of running there from PJ. And the UAE will be really happy with the work there. And that's going to make for a really competitive total. There's quite a few of, like I mentioned, quite a few of the locals have made their way down. They've heard that this game's on live here on Facebook Live, and they've made their way down to the Filkins Lane ground and enjoying some of the facilities. Getting warmed up, ready for the massive game that is the top of the table clash later in the day. It's the England side, the Roaring Lions, against the Pakistanis in a massive shootout for the top of the table and the automatic qualification to the semi-finals of the World Series of Last Man Stands 2018.
Lee, I'm going to be leaving the commentary box. I'm going to welcome Simon Dunning in. Fantastic knock from him yesterday, and I'm sure everyone will be keen to hear how he went about it.
Cheers, Grievo. Okay, I'm just going to have a little look at Pool A while he takes his seat here. So just looking at Pool A here as Simon Dunning joins me in the comms box. Welcome, Simon.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Yeah, well, just looking at Pool A, you must be pretty happy. That's a pretty sight for you England boys.
Looks good so far. Yeah, can't complain about that.
Be totally honest with me. Is this exactly what you thought it would look like after 4 games, or is this above expectation at the moment?
I think at the moment it's probably a little bit above expectation. You know, you come in, it's quite difficult when you haven't played with a lot of the people in your side before. So you're still trying to work out your batting orders, you're still trying to work out who's bowling where and who bowls what. But you know, great bunch of guys who've come together very, very well. It's also been great to have the help of Nick Compton, who's, you know, his cricketing brain when you're in this, even though he hasn't played a lot of 2020 last man stands, you know, he can read batsmen very, very well. He can read bowlers very well. So you'll be getting some good advice as well. So
I was going to say it must be a great insight to have someone of his ability and his standing in the game to be out there with you, and you know, obviously at the top of the innings as well. He's just been almost like a cherry on top of the cake there for you.
Absolutely. When you got someone who comes in and strikes the ball cleanly, who's looking good, you know, it's nice to have that kind of banker. You know, someone who can cement an innings and kind of just keep you moving at least.
So for you personally, obviously an amazing day yesterday. You must have been really chuffed.
Very happy with yesterday. Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. He'd been struggling for a bit of touch in a couple of the other games, but I think once I realised on these pitches, I think playing across the line here is generally not the thing to do. The bounce is a little bit erratic.
You've got to, you know, use the short boundaries here. You've got to hit through the ball.
Absolutely. Down the ground here, especially this way, is quite short. So
just to jump in here, looking at the scorecard, Shiraz Khan, 62 off 30 was the highlight there, and looking at the bowling figures, you've got Kazim Farid here, 4 overs, 3 for 31, and Sam Ferguson, 2 for 27. Looking at the other bowling figures, nothing really to write overly home about. Maybe Rob Bainbridge, 1 for 25 there, but Scotland have left themselves probably a little bit more than they wanted to do here.
I think so. I think they would be a little bit disappointed with some of their bowling. I think I think they got away with a few kind of ranked long hops that probably should have disappeared over the rope. But from what I've seen of the Scottish batting lineup, they're pretty good. They've got some batsmen in there.
They look like they've really missed Fraser Watts today. He seems like he'd be a miss in any team, but certainly the Scottish team just looked like they lacked a little bit of direction out there that he's been giving them.
Yeah, I think so. And you know, when you kind of don't know whether you're going to be playing and then all of a sudden you're playing again, it kind of throws everything into a little bit of disarray, and you then start questioning your tactics in terms of who's going to bowl when and how. So yeah, I would say there was probably a little bit of direction missing.
So for you going on to the game later this evening, obviously you boys are pretty used to being last game on. I think LMS have decided that for TV purposes that having England on when people are getting home from work is the best time. What I would say is, I know for some of you it's a little bit frustrating when the light starts to fade, but the other night against the New Zealand side, I think the crowd really helped you bring it home.
Yeah, it was nice to have a big crowd for that game. The sun here is a problem late in the evening. Won't lie, with the pink ball it becomes quite difficult. But when you've got big crowds and guys screaming and shouting and a good atmosphere, you know, it's very easy to look past that and enjoy the game.
So for you, obviously, a long-term member of, is it the Aeon or Aeon?
Aeon All-Stars.
Yeah. Aeon All-Stars, and we've seen that celebration with you and Blake van der Linde a couple of times. The
Raging Bull.
The Raging Bull. And we've had some really good support for you on Facebook Live. Is there many people watching back at Aeon or family and friends?
Yeah, the guys have been following very closely. You know, even if it was during work time, I think they'd probably still be watching. You know,
Secret tab,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and you know, it's been very nice. My family in South Africa have been able to watch. We got friends in Australia and New Zealand who've been watching as well. So, around the world, it's been great. Lots of messages of support.
So you must have had a couple of messages after yesterday, because I'll agree with you. I think that was obviously an incredible innings yesterday. Earlier in the week, you were just trying to work out how to bat here at Chester. And I think also as well, I think coming in at that particular point in the innings seemed to work really well for you.
I mean, with a platform like that, you've got guys that have been running the field ragged. So, I mean, Aaron and Blake running so many twos. I think they only had 3 dot balls in the first 10 overs. So, I mean, that is some proper batting. And when you've got that sort of platform, you can just walk in and really just go, which is nice.
Well, the thing is that obviously you've got two, you know, the left hand and the right hand, you know, combination there. Two quite different players. I think Aaron Lomas has shown in this tournament really how to play last man stands without being a power hitter. You know, he can hit boundaries, but he hasn't destroyed teams with his power. He's manipulated the field round. He's used Blake as left-hander down the other end to ensure that he's giving, you know, the captain of the opposition constantly having to change the field. That's tough, that.
It is. It becomes a bit of cat and mouse, which, you know, and Blake and Aaron being quite fit guys and being able to run between the wickets like they do, they can keep you guessing. They're also, I mean, Blake, I played more with Blake and Aaron, but Blake can work the ball very, very well into areas, and Aaron's just super fit and super quick. So, you know, and he does the same thing. So, you know, it's a nice combination. But like I said, we're still playing with combinations and kind of looking at what the pitches are doing and seeing how we need to change our order around to suit that.
Yeah, we put the captain, Nick Darby-Welsh, under a bit of pressure, saying, you know, going into finals day, what sort of combinations will we be looking at? And I think, look, he's you can see he's an incredibly loyal and good man to have as a leader, and, you know, he was giving absolutely nothing away. I think he's got in mind maybe a couple of combinations that he knows that are well suited, and obviously there's going to be a couple of places up for grabs as the weekend unfolds.
Absolutely, and, you know, depending on what teams we come up against, you know, that'll definitely influence kind of what happens, you know, bowling attacks and batting lineups. So thankfully not my job, which I am very, very grateful for, because I'm generally not quite as good as they are. So yeah, but I'm sure they'll come up with a good plan.
Well, okay, going back to this game here, 179. Okay, 2 questions for you. One, do you think the Scottish side will get up in this game?
Looking at a bit of what's been happening here today, I think if you get forwards for a start, and actually I wouldn't worry about hitting too many sixes, because just keep the ball on the ground, because then you can get forward, get over the ball, run your twos hard. I think that it shouldn't be that difficult.
And the other question is, obviously later in the tournament you could come across the team that maybe finishes below you. Obviously you and Pakistan are tucked in 1 and 2. We'll decide who wins the group later on as we look on one of the Pakistani supporters there. Who would you least likely want to face later in the tournament? Who has the potential to get some momentum and cause you some real problems? So realistically, just to explain what I mean, is that obviously they're currently in your group, so they would then go into the quarterfinal and play in the opposite semi-final. So realistically, if they were to come up, you know, it'd be in the final. Which of these 2 teams, if you were to make the final, out of India and Scotland, would potentially cause England the most problems? So selfishly, who would you like to see go out today?
I'd probably say the Scottish team would be the one that I wouldn't want to face. I think they would, because they're a bit more of the unknown, and also they seem to be finding their feet, and when they click, they're really, really good. You know, I think they have that potential for that one game that just kind of run away from you.
Well, I think obviously Scotland are clearly not as big a cricketing nation as India, but they've just managed to, you know, put a team together, Scotland, where Fraser Watts, Rory Johnson, Farid, they've really just started to settle down and found the combinations. Obviously today, no Fraser Watts at the top of the innings, so they're going to go with Mr. Singh here, Shamrit Singh, and it's going to be Navaz opening the bowling here at the City Road end.
Nav's another Durban boy as well, so a South African that lives in Abu Dhabi.
They're everywhere, aren't they? Obviously LMS is extremely popular in South Africa, and something I've particularly enjoyed here in the last couple of days, managing to play the odd game in the Masters series here. But it'd be great to see if we could get more and more people from all around the world taking part in this great game.
Absolutely. I mean, it's you know, it's the great thing about it is the format is quick. It's exciting. You know, we play on Sundays in Barnes in London, and you know the wives are down with the kids and stuff, and it's a very nice social thing. So, and we, you know, when we tour and stuff around to nationals, we tend to take the families along, and so it's you know, I mean, long-suffering family members that have been around with cricket, but you know, it's good fun for us.
So for you now, have you gone away from playing normal 11-a-side cricket to play this instead?
I have. I've stopped playing club cricket. From playing a lot of indoor and playing club cricket, it was an all-year-round kind of thing, and you know, the wife turned into a bit of a cricket widow and I'm getting old, so the knees don't hold up as much anymore. So, yeah.
So by playing LMS, it just frees up the Saturday.
Absolutely. You know, we've also got a little one now, so having that extra time is good.
So it looks like we've got Bakari on the outside here, who is known as the fastest mouth in the East, and he was making it very clear that England were going down today in the big game. Obviously, a little bit of gentle trash talk here as Navaz comes. Yeah, he that is just that's an amazing shot there, isn't it? It's just took a little piece out the fence there as. The Scottish Development International, Rory Johnson, just rocked back there. He had all the time in the world there, didn't he?
Hit that super clean. Made a lovely rifle crack there.
So if you're putting together maybe 3 or 4 players for your team of the tournament here, who would you be looking at from what you've seen? Is there maybe a wild card that you think that may come into it later in the tournament?
I think probably someone like Praveen would be quite a nice person to have in your side. So I mean he was hitting some beautiful inside-out lofted drives on the other field over there the other day.
He's a lovely fella, Praveen, as well.
He was excellent. Just trying to think who else would be a card in for us.
So my team of the tournament so far, I've got Manpreet Singh. You'll be pleased to know after yesterday's efforts you've got a squad number. Mohammed Bhatti from Pakistan.
Yeah, good player.
And Shabazz Khan as well probably would get I'm obviously leaving out some of the franchise players as well, because obviously some of these guys have done amazingly well.
Yeah.
I've said Manpreet Singh, that's very important, from Singapore, because he's my favourite player in the world at LMS at the moment. It doesn't matter, if he's playing against England, I'm supporting Manpreet, because he's been a different level. He's really carried that team. And they're in a great position tomorrow morning at 7:45 for the rearranged game. Early start, the USA.
I think South Africa and Australia are playing at the same time as well.
Well, they were struggling to play today. As a massive appeal. Oh, Bose really like that. We're going to have to watch this back, and you're going to get one replay, and you've got to say out or not out here, Simon.
Okay, let's see.
Because I know the England team are very clued up on the rules here. Let's see what your umpiring's like. This is straight off in real time. No slowing down for them, fellas.
No, he's missed that.
So we're saying good decision.
Absolutely.
There's a little bit more bounce coming in from the City Road end here. Bose's really got his tail up here, and he's really flying in.
Looks like he's just ducking it into him.
Singh's just a little bit open in the stance here. The ball's just tracing him back in. I think that looks like a good decision from the umpire. As we just go past the banner there for one of our partners, Sports Wiki. As Bose into Singh, heaved out into the leg side, potential for two.
I think running between the wickets on this field, especially on the leg side here, is you've got to be pushing twos every time and make them throw the ball in hard, because especially if they're going for the bowler's end, the chance for a misfield on that and an extra run is always an opportunity. So you've got to be pushing through.
So with this good weather now, this is actually playing into yours and Pakistan's hands. Whoever manages to win today, it is a huge advantage. You're going to have the whole of tomorrow off. You're going to have the whole of Sunday morning off.
Yeah.
Nice and relaxed, nice net, and then into the semi-final.
Yeah, it'll be a good game to win. It definitely would make a difference to have that time, where you don't have that kind of hanging over your head that you've got that extra game that you've got to play, and it's another potential for something to go wrong. So, yeah, big game this afternoon. Hopefully the weather holds off, because if it does, then and a little bit more sun to dry out this outfield, then we should be in for a good game. UAE player asking me on the side from the replay that the edge was out.
Yeah.
Had to disappoint Dada, unfortunately.
So for the players, obviously, having the live stream here, is that a big part of coming to the World Series for you?
I think it is. It's it's nice to a bit of showing off to your friends, and it's nice for the people who can't travel. When you tell them that you're going to go and play in a World Series, they don't really kind of get it. So when they can actually see it, even though they probably don't understand all the rules, you can, if it's a close game, you can get the feeling of excitement.
Yeah,
and
you get the essence of it, don't you?
Absolutely. So it's been very, very cool having it. Absolutely.
And I'm pretty sure yesterday, I'd like an honest answer here. Did you go back to the hotel and maybe just give yourself half an hour to watch your innings back?
I didn't watch it yesterday. I watched it this morning.
Oh, good lad.
Yeah.
If you hadn't have watched it, I would have just packed up and gone home, because it would have meant that my role here was completely redundant and pointless. When the guy scores 54 off 13 and doesn't even bother to watch it back, but he hasn't, so that makes me feel a lot better.
You definitely got to have a watch of that. It was
good luck for two here. He's super quick between the wickets.
Yeah, it's very good running. You see, and then that's what happens.
There's potential for some buzzers here.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's good running from Singh as well. So there we go.
Like it when something you talk about comes true.
Doesn't happen very often. Normally it's me saying how well a bowler's bowled and then he bowler wide. So this has been much better. But Navas is going to come in here. Probably deserves a wicket here. He's just been working in and around that off stump, and they're going to look for 2 again. I think probably
another throw.
And that is an amazingly high throw again. Probably need to readjust. Navas doesn't look overly charmed here. He's trying to explain to the fielders there's still maybe a little bit of dampness in the outfield after that heavy rain this morning. Keep the ball up. Yeah. But looking across the ground now, you could barely think it'd been raining a couple of hours ago.
It's hopefully it holds. I don't know which way the wind's coming in from or where your weather normally comes from. So I mean, you're local here. Do we think we're going to get more rain this afternoon?
Well, I certainly hope not. It looks like it's we've got some good weather for the rest of the day, and you'd have quite enjoyed it. The South Africans and the Australians, obviously tough southern hemisphere sides. It was a bit damp this morning. They were trying to explain to me. I was trying to explain to them. My good friend Zed Abbas, he was like, "You playing this?" I was like, "Yeah, we'd be playing in this all the time." But
conditions, yeah.
So they've got a lovely start in the morning. They're going to get the 7:45 dew on the ground here at Chester.
Absolutely, they might have the kind of heavy cloud headache as well, maybe.
Well, they're going to the Man United game, and I'm sure they're going to have a great time. I really hope that the away team get up there. But just looking at some of the introductory offers here, of the co-branded kit as Singh hits it out into the deep. That's an amazing go-go gadget hand in the deep there. Could be a run out though. And Singh is completely committed there as he dives into the ball. But just looking at some of that co-branded kit there from Bass, have you managed to have a little look at it yet?
I had a look at some of the stuff. Looks really like some really good kit. Some of those bats had very nice weights on them. They look like good pieces of willow. I was looking at their gloves, they look very good. Hopefully try and get my hands on a pair of those at some stage.
Well, you know, just with quite a few of the tournament organisers stood behind us here, you must be in with a really good chance of maybe a batter of the day from yesterday. You'd be disappointed if you don't have a shout.
Oh, well, hopefully. You never know. It's not my decision. You know, Wayne looking at me funny, so...
He's got a 1 in 6 chance, Wayno said, but obviously I'm pretty sure that, you know, anyone who wins that prize will be happy to get any of the co-branded products from Bass.
Absolutely.
The guys have been here solidly all week and done a fantastic job. And anyone who is an LMS player, if you just log on to the LMS shop, I'm sure that they'll put the website up at some point for us to help me out, and it'd be a great opportunity for you to get 20% off.
The link is actually on the LMS homepage, so you can head into the shop from there. So I had a look at it last night.
And I think you've probably got a pair of pads as well for that, a little bit of extra knowledge as well there, Simon. You could do really well. So. So obviously 23 for none off 3.5 overs for Scotland. I think it's really key here that Rory Johnson, with Fraser Watts unavailable, he's got to retire here surely to give him any chance.
Yeah, you need to have the security of someone coming back in. I think you know, because it just makes it so much easier for your batsman going in after that. So yeah, look, he's playing well. So if he just keeps going, I think he'll be back in the hut soon.
So obviously this is a game a little bit further down the table, but we're going to turn our eyes to the big game later today, and that's your boys England against the Pakistan side, which have done so well until yesterday's shock defeat against the UAE. What are your predictions?
I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be quite a tight game. You know, we just need to play solidly, I think. You know, we've got Compo coming back, so whether he can make our side or not, we'll see. But yeah, I think, you know, we've got a good solid bowling attack. I think once we start building a bit of pressure, taking a few wickets, I think we'll be able to hopefully get on top of them and restrict them.
So that's a beautifully media trained response there. So who are you actually gunning for? Who are the big players from Pakistan? Who would you like to see the back of early?
I mean, obviously Razak early would be nice to see the end of. Yeah. I mean, he hits the ball super clean, so it's yeah. But they all can bat. They can all give, and wristy players and give the ball a good wallop. So I think everyone needs to be taken really quite seriously, and we need to climb into all of them.
So Johnson here, really clever, straight away down onto one knee, got the paddle out to Dada and gets a comfy 2 there. I think they're just looking to set the base here. Surely they've got to be aiming to be on 80 at least halfway though.
Yeah, I think minimum 80 at halfway. That's when we set targets, kind of 80 after 10, and then with 1 or 2 down, then you've got a nice launch pad. That's where you want to be.
So for me, obviously I'd said
your money on. Yeah.
Well, I'd actually called Pakistan as my tournament winners earlier in the week. I've got my friend Ali who comes in the box with me, who's super entertaining, and then the
nice little pedal around the corner.
I'm going to have my friend Bakari in the box in a minute, and I'm telling you now, he will certainly not be as media polished as you. He will be telling me exactly what's going to happen to you boys, and how
That's
England
right.
are going to be going down to a painful defeat.
We are happy for them to be the favourites. That's good with us. They can talk it up as much as they need to.
Well, that's extremely English. That being very dignified there in response. Obviously, you've mentioned that you've got family all around the world, so learning all the time around the England side. Wow, that's tricky, isn't it? He went for the reverse paddle. His intensity between the wickets is good, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's turning and looking every time. Just hope Singh can keep up with him.
So just looking finally at this game before you go. What are you thinking?
If Johnson gets back in the hut, I think Scotland probably got it.
So a lot of pressure on this young man here, and fantastic from the Scottish Cricket Board just to send him down and make sure that it didn't cost him anything. It's great for his cricketing development, and obviously looking forward to seeing you, Simon, later in the day, and hopefully you can repeat for all those Englishmen out here, repeat the dose of yesterday and bring cricket home.
We'll certainly try. Absolutely.
We're going to go for a double change here. We're going to bring Wayne Grieve into the box with Bakari.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Lee. Great to have some insight from Simon Dunning. Great knock earlier in the week, 50 from 13 balls, fastest 50 of the tournament. I'm joined in the commentary box by Bakari from LMS Pakistan, who will be playing LMS England in the final game of the day.
It's going to be a cracker of a game, England versus Pakistan. Really looking forward to it, and hopefully Pakistan's gonna snatch it from England. And just I want to mention, my co-commentator was mentioning the team of the tournament, and he really didn't mention me in his team. So I'm really not liking his team.
Why do you think he didn't mention you, but?
I've scored 150 runs in the tournament, gotten 8 wickets, and all mention is of the left-arm spinner. I am the main left-arm spinner. It's not Mr. Bhatti. No, but he has done great for us. So he's been doing good. So England should watch out for him.
And in this match, have you been following the Scotland UAE game? Have you got any favourites in this match?
We lost to UAE yesterday. They've got a good bowling lineup. So Scottish team should not underestimate them, because in the death overs they've got this bowler, Mr. Amir. He's bowled really good Yorkers at the end. So the Scottish team should score quickly before he comes on. But Rory Johnson has been excellent up till now, and he's playing really beautifully.
Yeah, Rory Johnson, an elegant player. Very, very good technique, and showing all the viewers out there that there's different styles for LMS. We've seen a lot of big hitters, But as we just seen there, Roy
Another-
likes to work the ball into gaps, doesn't he?
Another cheeky shot from Johnson. He's like showing us another way to play cricket, LMS cricket. Like run quick, run hard. You'll get the runs because in the over you'll get a bad ball, and if you manage to score 6-7 runs by not taking any chance, you'll be doing good. You'll be doing well.
Okay, and the LMS Pakistan guys have had a good tour. They're enjoying themselves.
Excellent tour, mate. We have been having a lot of fun. Chester has been brilliant. It's a beautiful town. Beautiful people, peaceful city, and we are enjoying every bit of it. And we are also doing well in the tournament. So, because of that and everything else, it's been an excellent time for us up till now. And hopefully, today would be much more greater and sweeter if we beat England. And I'm telling you, we're gonna beat England by a bonus point.
Oh, that big. No, that could be out. Straight in front of it. That's a great catch from Dada.
Yeah, excellent catch from Dada, number 24. He was quite calm when he was taking the catch. A lot of experience under his belt.
It originally looked like it was going to land straight on the commentary tent. I just don't think he quite timed that. So Singh departs.
Mr. Singh is also an excellent batsman from Scotland team. He has done well in the tournament. He played also really well against us. So it's a big wicket for Team UAE and a huge loss to Team Scotland. But watch out for Mr. Fareed from Scotland. He scored a 15-ball 50 yesterday. So if he comes in and smashes the UAE team would be in trouble.
And are you guys going home straight off the tournament? Or are you going to stay a few days and tour the country? What's your plans?
Some of the guys would be heading back home. They have been here from the last month, but some of the lads would be like touring the UK. It's a beautiful country, beautiful places to go. So people will go into London, Scotland, all around. So let's hope so that we win the tournament and we tour it well and celebrate also.
So tell me a bit about your squad. Do you all come from the same city or you different parts of Pakistan?
No. We are all from different parts. Like major chunk is from Lahore, from LMS Lahore, and three players are from LMS South Punjab, from the city of Lodra, and some players are from Islamabad. So it's a mixed bunch, but we have gelled in together. It's been good for us. But majority of the players are from the city of Lahore.
That's another reverse paddle from Rory Johnston. Just picking the gap out there. Well fielded by the fielder, originally with his boot. Preventing 4. You got some guys from South Punjab as well, don't you?
Yeah, from South Punjab. 3 guys, Shabazz, Humayun and Sadakat. Shabazz has done excellent in the tournament. He has been excellent for us with the new ball, and he's a big threat to any team that he faces him.
Johnson, 28 from 18. Singh, 18 from 14. This game's evenly poised. Got Bakari with me in the commentary box. They call him the fastest mouth in the East. Why is that?
Oh, because I sledge a lot back home and I sledge a lot also over here. But I've been keeping it low because I really want the Spirit of Cricket award that LMS has introduced. That is a beautiful thing, and I'm really looking forward towards it and wanting that award.
I think you were in Cape Town last year as well, weren't you, for the World Champs?
Yeah, I was in the Cape Town with the team Julelal Bangers, JLB. We lost the semi-finals to Rebels. We did excellent in that tournament also, and we are hoping that we repeat the same performances in the UK as well.
Yes, you guys did Pakistan proud in that tournament. I know you also made a lot of friends off the field, which is an important part of Last Man Stands, isn't it?
LMS, all the lads from all the countries has been brilliant. We have made friends from all over the world, Aussies, the Kiwis.
And Johnson goes straight. That's a great shot from Johnson.
Coming back, Aussies and the Kiwis have been brilliant, have been lots of fun with them, hanging out with them, been all around everywhere, having food and dine. Everyone has been great. All the lads are quite a bit of fun, and this is the beauty of LMS cricket, bringing people together from all parts of the world.
That's right, and as you say that, you see the Kiwis, they played early this morning and they've come into the ground to watch. I think they've made good friendships with some of the UAE guys, and I think they'd come down to support them. I think they went out for dinner with them last night.
Yeah, Kiwis and the Aussies, every one of us went out for dinner yesterday together. So we had a lot of fun, We went to the Pied Bull. It was a good food, good steaks.
Okay. And I know you guys back yourselves, but is there any team you don't want to meet?
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka. I think, other than this, I think Sri Lanka is the team to beat. Sri Lanka has been excellent. They've got good lineup with the Mendes and everything, and they're good players. So, would like to avoid Sri Lanka as much as possible. But even if we do face them, we're going to give them a hard time. I believe in my squad. I have full faith in my squad, and I think we'll do well. But Sri Lanka is the team to beat. Sri Lanka.
Johnston going well here. Shots all over the wicket. Reverse sweeps straight down the ground. What's he got next year? Backward punch into the offside. This is a great knock from Johnson. He moves on to 40 now.
Johnson has been brilliant. He's playing really well.
Repeats the dose. This time a bit straighter. Really good technique shown here from Rory Johnson. Straight bat down the ground.
The weather has been brilliant now. Like from the rain to sunshine, it's brilliant now. Brilliant day of cricket, and everybody should tune in at 6 p.m. for England versus Pakistan.
Who are the two unbeaten teams in this tournament?
Sri Lanka and England, I think so.
England.
Yeah.
Ooh, so this could be a big game for you guys, eh? Are you underdogs or favourites for the game?
We are favourites for the game, and I would like to mention, especially to Mr. Adil Hussain, who's been called the fastest bowler of the tournament.
Where you aiming to hit him?
Now, Mr. Razak is gonna smack him. Mr. Razak and Mr. Bhatti are gonna smack him all around the park. And if he is listening to it, I'll advise him to bowl him a little bit slow, because the faster he bowls, the harder it goes from the bat.
You sure it's just not because you're scared of the ball?
No, I'm not. No. I'm just wishing him luck, mate. He's another Pakistani, but he's a born British. But he's going down. I was telling them people yesterday he's going down. I'm telling them today. The faster he bowls, the harder we hit.
Okay.
So I would just like to wish him luck, but he needs more than luck today.
He's been one of the standout bowlers of the tournament, Adil Hussain. Not sure if you've been watching the games. That's a brave statement from you, Bakari.
No, I've been watching him. He's a good lad. He bowls quick. He's a good bowler. But we Pakistanis have watched his videos. We have prepared for him, and we're going to play him really well. You wait and watch, and today what happens. I'm telling you, I'm going to smack him all around the park, because fast bowlers are bread and butter back home. There are like lots of fast bowlers, because everyone is inspired to become a Shoaib Akhtar, Wasim Akram or Waqar Yunus back home. So we face a lot of fast bowlers. So it's not really a problem for us facing Mr. Adil Hussain.
PJ, just a second wide in his over. He needs to straighten up here. We're talking earlier about the importance of one of these Scottish players getting to 50, especially Johnson. He's the go-to man now that Fraser Watts is not able to continue in this match. So he's pushed out into offside. Johnson's going to turn for two. He's quick between the wickets. There's really good innings from Rory Johnson. He now moves on to 45. He's hardly played a shot in anger, and he's on 45 from 25 balls.
Johnson is looking really good. He has managed to play the ball very cheekily, and he has run hard. And he's shown us that you don't need big hits to score runs. You can score runs if you play sensibly also.
It's another wide. I think the guys earlier in the commentary box were talking about where you want to be around 10 overs, and they were saying around 80. So Scotland look bang on target here. And that's a great, well played 50 from Johnston. Really good knock. Sure, viewers one day will be seeing Rory play for his country in full ODI status. looks like a great prospect.
An excellent prospect for Scotland team. Scotland requires another 108 runs off 58 balls. It looks like it's going to the wire, mate.
Yeah, we already had an exciting game earlier today before the rain came down. New Zealand taking on a strong side. They played well in throughout the tournament, and New Zealand just not getting over the line. At one stage they looked like they were favourites to do it, but falling around seven runs short.
This Farid guy, he's a hard hitter, mate. Hard hitter. He scored a very quick 550 yesterday. If this guy gets going, it's going to be trouble for UAE, Farid. I think people watching, all the viewers should pray that Farid gets going, because you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to enjoy his innings.
I think the UAE, or the Indian supporters won't be fancying that. They need UAE to win this.
It's okay, I'm a Pakistani, so I really don't like Indians winning all the time also.
But yesterday we saw a lot of the Pakistani guys were supporting India in that match.
Sometimes you need things to go for your side. So some of us were supporting Indian team so they could beat England, but they couldn't, and the hopes were crushed again by India. So it's fine, nothing. It's still in our hands.
So we coming up to the halfway point in this game. 9 overs gone. One more over until we turn. 72 from 9. They bang on 8 and over here. Just below the run rate required, but they've got wickets in hand.
More expensive because of his price, though. You know what I mean? He's already priced it too.
Oh, this gone straight up. What's happening here?
Double play. Oh, he missed it.
Did the keeper catch that?
Yeah, he caught it. I think it's a steal by Mr. Farid. I think, is it the first steal of the tournament?
Let's just watch this here. I'd like to see the slow motion. I didn't actually think the keeper got it. That's outstanding work from the keeper. He fooled me in the commentary box. He certainly fooled Farid. Farid, realizing the keeper got it, was in all sorts of panic stations. Sharp bit of work from the keeper. See that the keeper realizing that, direct hit would have been gone. So great work from the keeper, Subu. Look at this here. Goes for the Dilstang. Subu gets it. Farid realizes he's in trouble. Back to the bowler. Ahmed has all 3 stumps to aim at and he misses. That could be a huge moment in the game.
Could have gotten 2 plays on 1 single ball.
And Farid gets 2 runs to his name for his efforts there, but that was high risk, and I think it was more of a case of him not expecting Suba to hold on to that one. So Ahmed to continue. I'm sure people are starting to finish their working week in Scotland. Some people will be tuning in to watch this game.
Hashim is bowling beautifully. Four runs to Scotland. A good shot at behind square leg.
Yeah, it's well placed. Try and overhit it. So Amir, 4 from 3. It's gone straight up. Could we? No, this time it's safe. Subaru's not going to get to that one. So we're going to have a change of end. And before we have a change in the commentary box, Bakari, I just want to wish you luck for your game later and for the rest of the tournament. And just tell me now, what do you think the game plan is going to be if you guys win the toss?
If we win the toss, we'll bat first and score 200 runs.
What's your thinking behind that?
No thinking behind that because we believe in our batting. We have got full faith. We didn't manage to score runs yesterday, and I think the law of averages in our side. So we are going to score heavily. We're going to get them out cheaply, get that bonus point, finish top of the group, and head into the semi-finals.
And will Abdul Razak open the batting?
Abdul will open the batting and will smack every baller out of the park, mate. You wait and watch, tune. Everybody should tune in at 6. Wait and watch, and you should see some quality big hitting at 6 p.m.
Okay, well, thank you for coming to provide such wonderful insight in the commentary box, and good luck for the game.
Yeah, before I leave, another one thing for Mr. Adil Hussain. Don't ball quick, mate. You're going to get it hard. Thank you.
Okay, so a softly spoken Bakari leaves the commentary box. And I'm joined by Paul Reddish from LMS Scotland, the manager and franchise owner of LMS Scotland. And Paul, this is exciting times for your team.
Yep, we'd have taken this at the start of the week, mate. In our hands, a win to go through.
10 overs to go. The guys Simon and Lee earlier in the commentary box were saying after 10 overs they'll take 80. So you're on the rate.
Yeah, we talked about it as a team at the start of the game, and given we're hitting into the wind for the first 10 overs, we talked about knocking the 79 off in the first 10 and hopefully being 1 wicket down. We're obviously ahead of the runs, but 1 more wicket than we'd like at this stage. Rory is by far our best back in the shed, retired at 50. I think we're in a good position. The game's nicely poised.
I really enjoyed that innings from Rory. Such a good technique. Shots all around the ground. He looks like a great prospect for Scotland cricket.
Yep, we're really happy with him in Scotland, the development. He's only 19, so we're excited about his potential, that's for sure.
Just look at this one being pushed down the ground by Farid. So Paul, tell me about the Scottish cricket and where it's going and how Rory fits into the Scottish development structure.
Just watch this ball. Slightly ambitious appeal there, Wayne.
Yeah, slightly down leg.
So yeah, Rory's in our what we call the Performance Academy, which is the level below the full national team in the Scotland A top. It's a lot of our sort of younger players that are just looking to push through. He's been in there for a year now, as I say, he's only 19. He's not played his first Scotland A match yet, but I know from talking to the performance guys at Cricket Scotland he's not far away. So I don't think it'll be long before we see him playing for the A side. And then, you know, if he keeps developing, keeps his head down, then there's every chance of making his full debut within the next couple of years.
He plays for Forfarshire Cricket Club and is that in Dundee?
That's right. Yep. It's one of the bigger clubs in Scotland. Certainly the biggest in Dundee. Good youth section. They've got 2 or 3 players in the national team at the moment, and like Rory, there's 2 or 3 more in the Performance Academy. So yeah, they're a good club. They're important for Scottish cricket.
As Ahmed continues, that's pulled away. Shiraz eventually stops that after doing a 360.
I'm going to push for 2 here, but might just be 1. It's 1 more run to Farid.
So, Paul, tell me about club cricket in Scotland. Forfisher, a club like that with 3 international players. How many sides would they have on a Saturday?
So Forfisher, they're not in the same league structure as my club, so I'm not entirely sure how many sides, but I would be very surprised if they don't have at least 3 teams. A lot of the bigger sides do have at least 3 teams. There are 180 league clubs in Scotland, so it's a big and growing sport there, and the latest participation numbers, there's actually more people playing cricket than rugby in Scotland. Not a lot of people know that, and you'd think rugby is the biggest sport.
No, that surprises me. So, now, club cricket in England, you don't see too many guys going straight from club cricket to represent their country, but that's how it works in Scotland, am I right?
Well, it used to, but the last couple of years we've put in place a regional series structure, so there are now 3 representative regional teams, and then that feeds into the national team. As I say, the club game is still really important in Scotland, just with the size of the country. You know, we have there's only 5 million people live in the entire Scotland, which is a quarter of the population of London. So you know, we're heavily reliant on the clubs to do a lot of the work on the ground, and then we've got pathways from there to pick them up in the regional series setup.
Only one.
Coming back to this game, Scotland after 10 overs turned, they had 82. So it's just slowed up in those last 2 overs, yeah, Paul.
Yeah, I would say at the moment it's slight advantage to UAE, but the guy on strike now, Kazim Faridi, is probably our most aggressive batsman. He got 63 off 20 balls yesterday, albeit on the other pitch with smaller boundaries. He's going to be key to this game if we're going to chase this target.
The run rate required just going above 11 for the first time.
Only one. Good bowling, brother. Oh, come on!
It's a good shot, clean hit.
That's
One Shiraz.
well,
21.
don't think the bowler's too happy with his fielder. We'll leave it at that.
I'm not sure I'd have stuck my shin out to that myself, Wayne.
So 100 up. 36 balls remaining in this match.
What do you think, Wayne, from here? 70-30 UAE?
No. This is an even game. This is 50-50. This is definitely 50-50. Rajib Noik, he seems to be, he's bowled first change for UAE. Yep, very slow through there. I think Farid, he's just struggling to get used to the pace, but he's realised it's almost impossible to hit him through the offside. It's turning a lot, but it's slow turn, so he's just going with the turn. The sun just dropped behind a cloud. It's a bit chilly when the sun gets in behind a cloud, but we're lucky to be playing here, Paul. Didn't look too good a few hours ago, did it?
No, it didn't. The ground staff had done a great job to get it playable. I mean, there were big puddles on the outfield just 4 hours ago, so yeah, great job by the grounds team to get us playing. Yeah, it was a wee bit damp out there, but you know, good Scottish conditions. We're used to playing in damp outfield, so we weren't too fussed. We were happy to go out and give it a go. So,
Farid runs the first one hard. Oh no, he's not happy with this. Oh, so Farid doing the right thing there, but a non-striker just not aware. Amir wasn't on the same Same. His partner, I think he wasn't expecting the two. Do you think that's a case of trying to get Rory Johnson in earlier, or do you think there's just a misunderstanding there?
I think that's more just a misunderstanding. But, I mean, Assad did the right thing. He's a good bat himself, but he's probably not in the class of Farid, so he had to keep running there. It's important that Farid didn't get run out in that mix-up.
Good to see a replay of this. But watch out for Farid, sets off, runs the first one hard, he forces the misfield, and Amir just wasn't on the same page, was he?
No, he certainly wasn't. It's been, I have to say, it's been a feature of our batting so far that we've run well, and today I have to say, the opening partnership, they didn't run quite as well today, and the mix up there, they've just been a little bit below what the standards they've set in the tournament so far.
Sometimes what happens, you get two different guys that don't match each other for speed and intensity between the wickets. I think that's been the case. Yeah, there's been a few players in the Scottish side. Roy Johnson certainly has run well between the wickets. But I think he'd run 100 metres in about 11.5, where he added a few seconds on for some of the other players.
Sign of the modern player as well, those little reverse paddle sweeps, Wayne. It's something that I've never attempted in the net myself or in a match. Seem to have come into the game the last few years.
On leg side.
Go on inside.
If you just send me, I haven't sent you those emotions. On the sweatshirts, what you need in sizes, then I can those won't be ready Monday. Those may be.
Just be careful, buddy. Otherwise, we'll take another ball.
We're just coming back to the facilities here. Alex Kegg, the groundsman's worked tirelessly. He's still going now.
Getting it.
Making small changes. We're trying to get a game on pitch
Got
too.
it.
And
I'll allow that with you.
personally, I can't speak highly
Thanks,
enough
buddy.
about Chester
Thank you,
Boughton
buddy.
Hall's facilities. Every piece of cricket apparatus that is required, they've got it. Nav to continue.
Only one. Aram se.
We're just getting on top of the bounce.
Ben, hi. Can you hear me?
Come on, boys. Let's get one more now. Fight, boys. Keep fighting, boys.
Only one.
Yes.
That's going to be 4.
So, great jab down to third man, Ross Coward. Hope we got that on camera.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen him take a dive in the field, Wayne.
He just lost his balance, but he recovered well, so well done to him.
It's just a small correction on the scorecard going on, which is what the delay is at the moment.
There's a slight technical hitch.
109 है ना 70 चाहिए
It's been rectified now.
6 में 70
We're sorted now. We're ready to go again. 30 balls left in the innings.
You still think this is 50-50, Wayne?
I think this is an even game. Johnson in the hat. Farid.
It's a good punch. That one might beat the fielder as well. It's a big few overs here. If Farid and Ferguson can really push on and take the pressure, keep it under 10s or get it to under 10s ready with Rory come back in, then puts him in a real strong position.
I think this is the over. where Scotland need to make a play. Nog is arguably one of the weaker bowlers. And I think Farid's going to target the leg side boundary here. Nog's very slow through the air. Small leg side boundary. It's gone again.
It's 4 more.
So Nog just a bit slow through the air, not getting it up to the bat. At that pace, it's got to be full. Farid realizes that. Just walks across his wicket, goes deep in his crease. I've got a feeling Farid's not going to change his game plan here, so Nog's going to have to try something different.
Come on, boys!
One again,
That's
leg
a great
side.
shot. It's 4 more. This is a big over now, hey?
Yeah. Farid's.
That moves him on to 35.
You sense the moment here, Farid.
You hear
This
Nigel
is the bowler.
Collins got caught eating out of training?
He's identified as one that they can get after. And all of a sudden, this is turning into a huge over. Nog's now changing the direction of attack, bowling around the wicket. Misfield there. Ferguson turns for 2. Things can turn quickly in last man stands, and all of a sudden Scotland are now favourites here, Paul.
There's no point asking me, I'm biased. Oh, that might go for 4 as well. That's a massive over in this game, Wayne.
Yeah, that's a big over. Slightly unlucky for Nog. The last delivery there. But Farid's made his own luck.
Come on, guys.
That's 18 from that over. It's a big over, and that's got Scotland ahead here.
That brings the run rate back under 10 for the first time in a while.
It's 2 a ball.
We talk about this a lot in commentary, Rain, but this is exactly the advantage of having one guy back in the hut, isn't it? You can roll at this stage of the game. You know you can take a couple more risks and really try and push the game on. Makes such a difference.
Yeah, I think, as you say, Farid was prepared to go again, even though he had got 14 from the over. Knowing Roy Johnson was in the bank, allowed him the freedom to keep going, and that's turned a good over into a great over. I think we also got to keep an eye on which bowlers still have overs in the bank. Bose still has 2.
I was impressed by Bose. He bowled with pace and good lines. Looks a decent bowler. That might go as well. No, he's cut it off. That's 2 more runs.
So Farid certainly favours the onside. Don't know if that's a treat.
Yeah, good.
Ball is innings, or is he mix it up to the offside sometimes?
No, he can hit on the offside, but it's the shorter boundary down there, Wayne. So he's playing the percentage cricket here. Ferguson slightly different. He hits well straight, and then most of his other shots are on the offside. So, you know, they are 2 very different players, and the bowler's going to have to work out what lines to bowl for each one here if he's going to keep control of the game, because they're very different players.
That's correct. I think PJ realising it there, and that was a much better line to Farid. And it's very good fielding from Navs. It's a good over here, often expensive over. Going for 18 in the previous one. So last 10 balls, 4, 4, 4, 4, 2, 4, 1, 2, 1, 1. And they're wide.
See what happens with this extra ball here.
Farid's look leg side again. PJ's got to find a way to avoid him. That's well bowled. That's very well bowled from PJ.
He's just adjusted his line to Farid. He's seen that Farid's laying up the leg side. He's bowling at a foot and a half outside off stump. He's doing the job here.
So 20 balls left in the innings. 43 to win. Scotland win this game. They're through to the knockout stages. They'll finish third in their group. And India's tournament will be over. If they lose, India will be through to the knockout stages.
It's been a good tournament so far, Wayne. It's great to see both pools going right down to the wire and a number of teams still able to qualify.
Yeah, UAE had a outside chance at the start of the day to go through, but they needed, it was only a mathematical chance, they needed to win the game by a huge margin, but that's not going to be the case in this match, so it's either going to be Scotland or India.
He's got a good arm out there at cover, and I think they spotted that early. Never going to be two out in deep cover there.
So Farid, is he going to try and go leg side to Bose here?
So that's the danger of bowling this line. They have obviously worked out that they're going to try and bowl outside Farid's off stump, but there's not much margin for error if you're going to bowl every ball there. And with LMS, obviously, there's the extra, that's 3 runs, and that's not something they can afford at this stage.
I think the length is also key, yeah. Bose is a bit quicker. That's just too short. I think he's just got to go for the full Yorker, just on off stump or just outside off stump.
That's it. I know Farid is a quality bat, so oh, that's him retired, is it? Yeah, he's not just a leg side player, so he can adjust if they're going to bowl every ball out there. But well, this is a big moment in the game, because that's now 2 batsmen back in the hut, Wayne. So that gives complete free license. Yeah. And so this next 8 to 10 balls is a critical part in the game. They've got the new batsmen that are coming out. They have to make use of these balls or get out.
And I would send Bainbridge in now. He's the man for the moment.
Yeah, it's Bainbridge next.
So on the back pitch we have the Masters tournament going on.
Seems to be doing it for 3 games in a row.
Pakistan Masters.
Great cricketing.
That's the Indian Masters. That game's just got underway. So this is going to be a vital over here for both sides. I feel if UAE can win this over, put their nose in front, Scotland can find another boundary, they'll go into the last 3 as favourites.
There must be 2 there, I think. They're going to push them hard.
The wind's picking up now. Bainbridge, 2 from his first delivery. Bale just falls off.
Push 2 again here, are they?
So keep an eye on the runs, first balls. If it stays 2-ball, Scotland will back themselves. Once it goes above 2-ball, UAE will feel their favourites.
Well, it's above 2-ball at the moment, Wayne.
Yeah, but only slightly.
It's exactly 11 and over here, the equation. But as we all know with last man stands, with the home run at the end with the 12 runs, you're always in this game.
Good afternoon, guys.
How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thanks.
Yeah. Mr. Compton joined us in the commentary box. You were excused from the monsoon at Lord's.
Back in the box? Yeah, I know, I missed it. I got enough of it yesterday, that's for sure. But managed to watch the guys online. It's the first time I watched some great cricket yesterday. It just wasn't a test match. Had last man stands on my on Facebook on my phone. Big swing and a miss there.
Dots at this stage are vital. What are your thoughts from here?
147, chasing 179. I mean, it's touch and go. I'd probably say UAE at this stage.
Run 2 here, are they? They're going to push him, that's for sure.
How's the wicket looking in this innings? Still pretty good. Played well yesterday. Some big. I mean, obviously watched my England boys get a big score yesterday, so that was entertaining.
Yeah, the wicket's played well all week, hasn't it? It's taken some turn when it's been used a little bit, and with the new wickets, it's just been really nice to bat on. I think seen some big scores this week.
One of the stranger actions in modern day cricket, has to be said. Paul Adams, the Chinaman from South Africa, was strange, but he's kind of up there. This guy, Junjunwala.
Keep going, yeah, boys, come on!
Name.
Yeah, I think we've all been there when we face bowlers and the ball doesn't quite come from where you expect it to. It can be quite difficult to pick it up.
Well, it's definitely effective at the moment, just going for 1s and 2s, so definitely 2 there. Definitely 2. They've got to run hard here, and that's good running from the Scottish.
Well, we're talking about this before on commentary. With 2 men in the shed still to come, you can afford to take risks with the runs at this stage.
Absolutely, they've got to go harder here. They've got to really try and hit a couple of 6s, or at least hit a couple of boundaries. But he's taking pace off the ball. It's not easy hitting midway down the wicket.
That'll be 4, I think.
That's one way of doing it. Hit a big thick edge if you can't hit it for 4. That was a much needed boundary there. 157 now. So tell you what, good game this, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, right in the balance.
And with the, as we know with last man stands, with the home run, you're never really out of it. You can be needing quite a lot off the last over, and you're always in this game.
Oh, imagine being hit for a home run. I think I'd probably walk straight off the pitch, get in my car and drive home. It would be horrendous, wouldn't it? Going for 12 in the last ball of the game and losing it.
There's been a few of those this week. Not to lose the game, I don't think. There's been a few big home runs, but I don't think there's been one to win the game yet. So that would be the first of the tournament if it happened.
Now they've got the main man Navs back on. Born and raised in Durban.
You can see the table up here. It's just confirming what we already know, which is it's a straight equation here. If Scotland win, they're through, and if they're not, then LMS India are. It's going to go for 4, I think.
Quite been hit very well, but and he's had an absolute stinker. Nope, he hasn't. He's managed to stop it in the wet. He's slipped over. That could be a very crucial run saved.
Could indeed. It just plugged there, didn't it? It's like watching a
He got the old brakes on, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's well bowled. That's well bowled. A little bit of bounce, back of a length, very difficult to hit. He's got his third man quite fine, which is a good idea. Yep, just coming a bit finer now, which is, I think, clever.
You've got a feeling is more likely to get a boundary off the edge at this stage rather than through backward point, certainly. This is a big over here. It's now, equation's now 20 off 7 balls.
Yeah, 2 big misses. You can't. I mean, a dot ball's are one thing, but when you play and miss, you've got to get bat on it.
A big finish to the over here, Scotland, to give himself a chance in the last over. They really do have a boundary.
Oh, 3 dot balls. I mean, that is literally
finish strong now. Finish strong.
not good. Not good.
So this one really has to go to the rope.
Lanny's on a single for me.
Yeah. I think I would take a wicket at this stage, given who we've got in the shed. That wouldn't be the worst thing for Scotland. You were right, Nick.
And they'll get 2.
Oh, they're going to run 2.
Got to go 2.
Yeah.
Got to get his skates on a little bit. Good running. Better option though, walking over, getting in line with the ball. Got 2, but if he'd done that with the others, might have got closer to it, even edged it. Just can't afford these dot balls in this game. They're so costly.
Yeah. So we're into the last over here. The equation's really simple. Scotland score 18 runs or more. They're through to the knockouts. 17 runs or less, and we'll see LMS India qualifying for the Sunday part of the tournament.
I don't know where India are, but I have a feeling that Captain Kohli, he'll be watching every single ball here. Quite an animated character.
Very different from his cousin, I would say, the way they approach things in the field. Mind you, Kohli, the one we know, can sometimes be a little fiery.
It's a wide ball.
No, he's not giving it. Batsman protesting a little bit, but
not a wide.
No.
So just the 4 deliveries left now, and really Scotland, I think, are out of this tournament.
They've got to run 2 here. There's no point leaving it out there. Oh.
Scottish boys on the sideline, not happy there. I think Bainbridge is clearly taking it on himself now to single-handedly win this game. Gonna rely on a big hit into the wind though. That big home run on the last ball.
Well, they're not within distance of a home run yet. They need 5 runs off the next 2 balls to even give themselves a chance here.
Oh, they're gonna have to run 2 here. No choice but to run 2. Fielder really should be off the boundary there. If you think about it, not many balls are going to sail over 6 when you're on deep extra cover.
So I'm just checking with the tournament director here. If it's a tie, what does that mean in terms of who goes through? That's the other thing that could happen.
15 up to.
So actually, I think that the equation here, because it's 6 points, and that would take them 2 points above India. If Scotland tied the game, that would also be enough.
That's a wide. That is a wide, and I think that's a good decision.
Right, so the equation says 14 from 2 balls, but by our maths here, I think a tie does get them through. So it's 13 from 2 balls for them to qualify here. So they need at least a run off this ball to still be in it.
They've got to run 2, yeah. They've got to turn and go. Got to turn and go, guys.
Right, so this game is going to go down to the last ball. It's going to need a home run
1 ball 6, we lose.
for Scotland to go through to finals day. Anything else, it will see LMS India through.
So a home run is when the last ball of the innings gets hit for 6, it gets doubled to make it a 12. So yes, you can get a 12 off this delivery, only this delivery, no other delivery. So everyone's on the boundary. You can see the captains pushing their men into the areas where this could potentially go.
Oh, where's that going?
Straight up.
I think.
Don't think it's a homer. He's dropped it, but It's enough to take the UAE a well-deserved victory. And Scotland just falls short. Disappointing for the Scots. I feel for them down on their hands and knees, and they'll be very disappointed. There are a couple of opportunities there that they've just let go, but you've got to feel sorry for them. But I tell you what, the UAE, they've stuck at their guns. A couple of great victories in the last 2 days, overturning, of course, the dominant Pakistan, and then this game. So nice finish to the tournament for them.
Yeah, I think that sums this tournament up really. Anybody can beat anybody at any time, and Scotland will be disappointed, but congratulations to the UAE. They played really well today. I know the Scots boys will be disappointed, but they were literally 5 or 10 yards away there from finishing it off. So the players just shake hands. That means LMS India will be delighted they're through to finals day. They're confirmed as the 3rd team in this group. England and Pakistan will play here next, and the winner of that game, potentially depending on how results go, will take the top spot, and that will allow them to go straight through to the semi-final. So all to play for in that game too.
Paul, I know you'll be disappointed, but I'm sure you're also very proud of the Scottish boys for their efforts in this tournament, and in the end it was small margins that cost them the game there.
Yeah, I mean we were 7 yards from going through. I reckon that was that hit. It was almost there, but it wasn't to be. They've played well. They'll be disappointed right now, rightly so. But I think, to be fair, 179, which is what we were chasing, that was probably 20 more than we talked about at the start with a wet outfield in these conditions. I think the batting performance was pretty good in most instances. I think they'll be a little disappointed with their fielding, which wasn't up to the standards they've set in this tournament. It's something we've talked about, and I do feel we've probably been one of the stronger fielding teams in this tournament, and today we maybe weren't quite at our best in the field, and unfortunately I think that's probably what's cost us this game. Yeah, I would like to say well done, and the Scottish guys were very popular off the field, one of the more popular teams in the tournament. So although they haven't won through to the knockout stages, once again the Scottish guys have won a lot of friends, and obviously no one likes losing, but it's also important to how you play the game, and I think Scotland have certainly played the game in the right way. Thanks, Wayne. I'll certainly pass that on to the guys, and they'll certainly appreciate that. They've enjoyed this tournament lots. We'll cross over to the guys in the interview room in a few seconds. Nick Compton's there with Sam Ferguson and Bose, who are involved in that last ball.
Well, it might be raining at Lord's, but it certainly hasn't been raining here. I know that players just got underway, but we've had an absolute cracker of a game again. A bit of heartbreak coming into the latter stages of this tournament, and Scotland so close to getting over the line there, just falling short. And I'll bring Mr. Ferguson on here, mate. Must be quite hard to take.
Yeah, pretty heartbreaking, getting to that close and then not being able to convert and go to finals day. But on the flip side of that, super proud of the lads actually to be, get a couple of wins over the week, and we've had an absolute blast at the same time. So great competition, and it's a full short. Yeah, it's disappointing. That's going to hurt. Hopefully the beer will probably drown that.
It certainly will. Obviously a good penultimate over there. Just a couple of dot balls which probably cost you.
Yeah, I think so. Probably myself to blame in that, and not connecting with anything for about 4 balls in a row. It kills it. If you're not going at least getting 1 or 2 off those balls, you leave a pretty hard job at the end. And I tried my hardest to get it over the boundary. Didn't get under it, which is. Yeah, a bit rubbish, but hey ho, on to the next one.
Oh, it's been great, mate. Great having the Scots here. They've added a huge amount to this tournament. But the UAE, I'm going to come to Mr. Bose here. If you just come in a little bit tighter, my friend. Another great victory. 2 on the bounce, beating Pakistan yesterday, and again the Scots, who are obviously a lot stronger today.
Absolutely. I mean, it came late for us though. We wanted to actually win today and go back to our home country on a high. And there was an outside chance of going through the qualifiers as well if we beat Scotland by a bonus point. There was a possibility actually. So we tried our heart out, and captain definitely leading from the front, and the boys played really well, and we stick with our plans. We were trying to bowl every ball outside the Ostrom on a Yorker length, which made the difference eventually.
And what changed so much from the first couple of days? Obviously you lost a few games, but you come back and played some brilliant cricket.
Actually, we did not get enough chance to play as a unit back in UAE because different guys are coming from different Emirates or the states. And we did not get a chance to play as a unit over there. So it took a couple of matches for us to understand the strength and weakness of the teammates, which came late, but we'll take it anyway. Yeah.
Oh, well done, mate. It's been great watching you guys, both of you, both Scotland and UAE. We've got another big game here. England are playing Pakistan, probably the 2 strongest teams in this group. So keep watching.